This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check you're still subscribed to the channel. Double check your notifications are on. And if you hit that like button, make sure it's working properly, because these criminals are doing everything in their power to suppress the channel so more people are not aware of the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market. Listen, GME naked shorters are trapped in the play. But because they own the SEC, they own the DOJ, they own the FBI, they can continue to create millions of counterfeit GME shares in order to manipulate the price down. They can spoof, they can wash, they can send all the buy orders to the dog pools, and nobody does anything. Once in a while, maybe 5-10 years down the line, they will have to give a percentage of their illicit gotten gains to the government. But besides that, it is business as usual. When a company announces that they have a major Bitcoin investment, the price usually goes to the roof. But when you are a stock that is primarily owned, or majority owned by retail investors, by the 99%, you could cure cancer and the price of the stock would go down. Okay, the fundamentals, the amount of cash on hand, the Bitcoin investment, there is no reason whatsoever for GME to be going backwards. But it is, because the fraud and corruption is overwhelming. The criminals are in bed with the regulatory and law enforcement agencies, and the only way we're going to get justice is when their liquidity runs out, because when that happens, the banks are not going to go down with the naked shorters. They're going to force them to meet their margin requirements, or there will be forced liquidations. Or we get one of these lawsuits to the discovery phase, and a judge orders them to turn over the blue sheets, the trading history of all these stocks they've been manipulating over the last 5 years. And then at that point, I believe that the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI are going to be shamed into doing their job. Anyway, here are the GME numbers. You guys know these numbers mean absolutely nothing, because they do what they want when they want with no real repercussions. They're reporting a volume of 7,177,525. They're still reporting 26.78% of the float is DRS. You could have 150% of the float be DRS, and they would still find millions of counterfeit shares every single day to manipulate the price. And the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI would still play and practice willful blindness to the overwhelming fraud and corruption. 26.5% of that volume was shorted shares. So somehow they found 1,800,000 GME shares to short in the market and manipulate the price, yet nobody wants to ask them where these shares coming from. It's a very simple question. Where did they originate? Who did you borrow them from? But they won't ask those questions, because asking those questions would force them to have to do their job. And we know they don't want to do their job. Short exempt 3,577 means absolutely nothing, just further evidence of counterfeit shares, in my opinion. And they are claiming they can cover all their GME short positions in 5.82 trading days. If these guys could cover all their GME shorts in 5.82 trading days and exit the play, they would have done it a long time ago. They are trapped in the play. They can't get out unless retail investors sell at this ridiculously low price, which I don't believe they are. And I'm not telling anybody to buy, hold, or sell GME. I'm just telling you that I believe the stock is way below its real value. And the bad actors can just keep kicking the can down the road. There's nothing else they can do. But eventually, I believe one of these cases is going to get in front of a judge, is going to get in front of a jury, and we are going to see justice because they have been robbing and stealing from us for too long. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Why do you think millions of GME shares can appear out of thin air every single day, yet the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI refuse to ask them where these shares are coming from? Anyway, have a great day. God bless. I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.